In this segment, we're going to talk about installing the FCX2050 drivers for Onyx, Flexi, and finally Wasatch. Now, a couple things to keep in mind about when using these packages. Something to remember about the cutter is that it can understand two languages, what they call command languages, HPGL versus GPGL. Now, what does that mean to you? It just means that the plotter has to be in the same language as the driver, whatever driver you're using, is sending. So here's a rule. If you're using software that's developed by GraphTech, then you set it to GPGL. If you're using a third-party package or software application such as Onyx, Flexi, and Wasatch, then you always switch the cutter to HPGL. Now, if you don't know how to do this, we have a video segment on out-of-the-box setup that shows you how to set the command language. So either that or you can review the FCX2050 manual 5-7. Well, let's start off with Onyx. For installing Onyx, the thing you have to keep in mind is that the driver is not installed directly into the either production house or poster shop, but it's actually done through Cut Server, and because it is a cutter. I'll go ahead and double click on the icon here. And here we are. So now this little window, because this is a new package just installed, will ask me to add a cutter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because it's basically the same process. If you didn't have this, you would just go ahead and click on Application Settings, and I'll show you that in just a second. I choose a driver, I go down to GraphTech. Now, what you're going to find is that there is no GraphTech FCX2050, but there's a GraphTech FCX2000. Now the nice thing is that this driver actually sends out the same commands as what an FCX2050 would be able to take. Now let's go ahead and install it, and that's pretty much true with all our drivers, but let's go ahead and install it. I'll click on that. Now here's the trick. Right here, just dial in 2250, and now we have the FCX2050 driver. That's basically it. This way nobody comes in later and sees the FCX2000 and thinks it's the wrong driver. No, you've named it, it'll work, so click OK, and then what you want to do is click on the driver itself and then click on Configure, and then set up the actual port, which is USB in my case, and then click on Close and then Accept, and there it is. So now if you've already had Cut Server running for a while and you've installed drivers, then it's just a matter of going to Application Setting, going to Cutter, clicking on Add Cutter, and then there's your little dialog that I had earlier. So it's just a step-by-step process. And that's it. To set up the GraphTech FCX20 driver in Wasatch is quite simple. As you notice, you have several different units that you can set up. I've already set the first unit as my printer. Now I'm going to set up the second unit as the GraphTech cutter, or the FCX2050 driver cutter, as the FCX2050. So I go ahead and select Unit 2, that's the one I want to change, and then just press this Setup button over here. And I come to this menu here. Now the first one, what I'll do is I'll just click on this pull-down menu, click on GraphTech, select the FCX2050 driver, and that's basically it. Then you may want to set the size of your media over here that you typically use. You want to then go ahead and select your driver here. You want to go ahead and select your port here, and in this case I want to select USB, and then click OK. And now we're set up, and that's basically it. When installing FlexiSign, we immediately go to Production Manager because that's exactly where we install the driver. And if you're familiar with Flexi, you know this routine. But if you're new, I'm going to show you a couple simple steps in order to install the FCX2050 driver. So let's go ahead and double click on Production Manager. Okay, I've got it open. Now, I have previously installed a GrafTech JW1000, which is a driver of theirs, because printer driver, should I say, because I want to show you print and cut later on. But for right now, all we're trying to do is install the driver. So immediately we go out to Setup right up here. I click on that, just add Setup, because that's what we're doing. We are installing a vinyl cutter. So let's go ahead and choose the manufacturer, which is GrafTech. Let's scroll on down here. And GrafTech is right there, and then come on down, then choose the model number, and then just scroll it on down to, let's see, it should be right around here. Yeah, there it is. And they've got the 3 models. I'm using the 60, so I'm going to click on the 60, and then just click Next. And then, of course, you choose a driver. I'm using the GrafTech USB. It will accept the serial port. And if you're running that direction, or if you're running that method, then here you're allowed to select COM1 or COM2. So if you are installing the COM port, then it'll ask you the baud rate and the communication protocol. But in this case, like I said, I'm using GrafTech USB. So I'll go ahead and click on Next. And there it is. And that's as simple as it gets. It's just a matter of now sending the job to the plotter. For further information on this subject, please review the following pages of the FC2250 manual. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at our email address, which is tech.support@graftechamerica.com, or call us at 888-318-3247.